Okay, so in the previous video, I figured out that Voyager 1 moves at about 16,200 miles per hour. Very fast. But let's compare that now to me on the basketball court. All right. Who is also pretty fast, of course. All right. So on the basketball court, I move at 82,720 inches per second. Alright, and just like with Voyager 1, I'm going to try to get to miles per hour. So my goal is to get to miles per hour, because I want to compare that to the Voyager. Alright, so I'm thinking, alright, well I've got inches, that's a measure of distance, and I'd like to get that to miles. So let's kind of try to go to miles. I'm starting with inches, going to miles, and I'm thinking, alright, well, how do I get from inches to miles? Well, I don't see anything here, but I do know that I can get from inches to feet, right? So I'm going to add one here. I'm going to say 12 inches are 1 feet. And then, oh, look here. I know in 1 mile there are 5,280 feet. So now I'm connected. So my first step is going to go from inches to feet and then from feet to miles. Alright, so I'm going to just do the distance first. I'm not worrying about the seconds yet because that's just going to confuse me. I just want to focus on one type of unit at a time. In this case, I'm working on the distance first. So I'm trying to get to miles per second. Again, I said I'm going to keep the seconds constant. I'm going to worry about that in the next step. Alright, well, I know in a foot there are 12 inches, just like in a rule. Alright, 12 inches in 1 foot. And I'm putting the inches on the bottom because, why again? Oh, right, I want to cancel the inches. So the inches are going to cancel. All right, so I'm good. Now, I finished step 1. Now I want to go from feet to mile. So I'm thinking, all right, I got to get from feet to mile. So how do I do that? Well, I want to cancel the feet. So let's put the feet on the bottom. They're going to cancel. Great. I don't want them. I want miles. Now, in this step, I'm getting to miles, which is awesome. And I know, oh, in 1 mile, there are 5,280 feet. All right, so it makes sense. You know, I'm moving really quick in an inches perspective, 82,720 inches, but I should move much more slower if, well, I'm moving at the same speed, but I should be able to move fewer miles per second than inches per second, right? Inches are that much, so I can move a lot of them in a second, but a mile, that's long. Okay, so my number should be smaller, and so just kind of reflecting like this gives me a clue whether my answers are reasonable or not, which is very important. Okay. So this means, if I calculate that, I take 82,720 times 1 times 1, which is the same thing, then divided by 12, then divided by 5,280, and that's going to give me 1.34, this is exact, 1.306 miles per second, using the 4 sig figs here, though maybe that's exact too. But then there are still 4 here, so that's fine. 1.306 miles per second. Wow, that's pretty fast. So in 1 second, I could have moved a mile. Well, let's see how much that's in miles per hour. I'm gonna switch up gears here. Yeah, let's use the green. No, let's use blue. All right. So now I'm at 1.306 miles per second, which is closer to my goal of miles per hour because my miles are there, but the hours aren't there. So I'm going to try to get to miles per hour now, and I'm going to do the same strategy. So I know my miles are going to be the same. I don't want to touch those, but I do want to change my seconds to hours. So I'm thinking, all right, and I don't know how many seconds are an hour, but I do know how many seconds are in a minute. So let's get to that. There are 60 seconds in a minute, and then, oh, right, there are 60 minutes in an hour. So I can do this through 2 steps. All right. So again, don't want to touch my miles. I'm just leaving those there. Those are going to be the same. I'm focusing on my seconds here. Now, if I want to cancel the seconds, which is in the denominator, I'm going to need seconds in the numerator. I'm going to cancel out. And I'm going to put my, I'm going to minutes. So I'm going to try to get to minutes. So I'm going to put my minutes in the denominator. So again, I can only go from time to time, seconds to minutes. And what was that? Okay, 60 seconds in a minute, right? Where's the other way? 60 minutes in a second. No, 60 seconds in a minute. All right. Great. I finished my first step. Now let me think about my second step. I need to go from minutes to hours. All right. Well, I want to cancel the minutes. Right? Yeah. I canceled my seconds. No, I'm canceling my minutes. And I'm trying to get to hours on the bottom. Great, hours on the bottom. All right, so in 1 hour, I know I've got 60 minutes. Okay, yeah, in 1 hour, I got 60 minutes. And my units look good. I've canceled my minutes. I've canceled my seconds. I'm ready to calculate. So I'm going to take 1.306 times 60 times 60. Divided by 1, divided by 1. That's going to give me 4,701.6 miles per hour. Pretty darn fast, if you ask me. Again, this is, you know, when I get on the basketball courts, I'm zooming. All right. So pretty fast, but still a lot not as fast as Voyager 1, unfortunately. In fact, how much time slower? Well, I take 16,200 divided by 4, so 701.6. That gives me 3.45 about, so I'm about 3.5 times slower than Voyager 1. But, you know, Voyager 1's really zooming out there, so that's nothing to be ashamed of. All right, till next time, King out.